All right, so this is to all the non-farming folks out there that think the food is too expensive. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? I'm going to show you $10,000.
$10,000.
9,000 and change. Wasn't quite $10,000. All right, you ready for this? A rubber gasket for a hood. Another rubber gasket for a hood. 2 brackets for the bottom of that gasket for a hood. Some bumpers for the hood on the mower. Ready? These pieces right here, there are 6 of these. 6 arms for a wheel rake. 6 arms for a wheel rake and 3 drums of oil. 9 grand. Oh, 2 filters, right? And 2 filters. And 2 filters that didn't come in a kit. I didn't want the kit because I got half the kits. Just shy of $10,000. I have never in my life expected to pay almost $10,000 for parts as minimal as this. Those drums of oil were $1,100 and change a piece. $1,150, I think, a piece. So there's $3,400, $3,450 in right there. These drums of hydraulic oil. Nothing runs without oil, just so you electronically charged idiots think that you're going to run your electric cars without oils. You got wheel bearings and all sorts of shit in there, you morons. Anyway, oil is oil. But whatever. If I hear anybody complain about the food price and how high it is and how farmers are just spoiled assholes that receive money from the government all day long, well, I got news for you. You're wrong. Anyway, that's it. There's probably $500,000 worth of parts in this building. I could almost guarantee you from this point forward, well, all right, those 2 pieces, I could show you. You want to see 42,000, right? These 2 pieces right here. That piece there is 9,000. This one here is like 2,500. Between those 2 pieces, that's 9 grand. This is like 2,200 bucks. All right. So for all you horse people that bitch about the price of hay, fuck you. Yeah, fuck you. Here's a piece. This piece here, don't even know what it is. This piece here, that piece there, that hood there, because we had a fire producing hay for mushroom growers. This piece here and those 2 boxes. You want to know the price? $42,000. So just in the little bit of parts that I showed you on the back of this truck with a little bit of oil, $52,000 bucks. $52,000. That doesn't include what's on top, what's underneath, and all the other fun stuff that's out here. So yeah, I'm a little bit upset if you didn't know. I guarantee you if Donald Trump was in office, this would have been 5 grand. I guarantee you, 5 grand. I bought this stuff, those arms. I bought 6 arms. I don't even know, where's the damn paper? I'm ready to cry.
I don't have any paper. You don't give me paper. They send it to you on your email.
Yeah, you're right.
Look, we got Hercules.
Oh. Stand back.
Stand back. That is going to bounce with that tire. Oh, jeez. Ooh. Damn. Watch out, Will. Watch out, that can roll to you. I told you this. No. Boing.
Oops. Now you just got to keep Timothy away from the drum, because you know what he'll do? He'll put air in it and almost blow the thing up with air so that the dent is out of the side.
Oh.
He did. You go over there to one drum, and will you knock it off? Hey! Oh, run your toes over.
Oh, Hercules. Watch out, Will. Yeah, good luck. William's
Old footage of
look at him.
camel soup.
No.
They used to ship Campbell's soup in 55-gallon drums.
Really?
And they had lines of guys, and they would get them up on the edge, and they would roll them on their edge. And they would just keep them going and direct them down through the floors
Wow.
of the Campbell Soup factory. It's crazy. Watch your toes, they'll cut them right off.
Hey, wow, Daddy, it's long.
Used to be. Now I'm just fat and old. Where's my Okay, so I'm doing things ass backwards and pissing people off that watch my channel. All right, so I planted these oats. We VT'd them in. I spread them with the fertilizer or the lime spreader, and then VT'd them in, and then went ahead and planted the corn through it. And of course these cameras do not really pick up how nice the emergence is, and I'm very pleased. So this farm was farmed by a fella that was corn beans, and there's a deer out there. I don't know if you could see it. Not corn beans. Beans, wheat, beans, wheat. Wheat, take the straw off, no-till beans. Wheat, take the straw off, no-till beans. Never plowed it, which is fine, to each their own. I'm an advocate for no-till farming. I think it's a better process in the long run if it's done right. But you can screw it up too. He claimed that he wouldn't have compaction if he just no-tilled, but when you take the organic residue off the top of it and there's no protection and there's no root mass left in the ground, because honestly beans and wheat don't really put much roots in the ground. Now you can see a row there. So, and you can see corn everywhere. I mean, it's all there. It's growing. I'm actually quite pleased with what I've got here. So I put the oats in to get a root mass in, and what happened was it dried this ground out something terrible. And I couldn't get enough moisture to get the seed to sprout, but we got moisture now here. We're supposed to get rain today. We had about 2 inches of rain on this farm. There's 160 acres here. I think the best choice that I made was to plant the oats, because what that's doing is it's armoring the soil. It's protecting it. It's shading the soil. It's scavenged a bunch of nutrients that will then be released back into the ground. And for the people that hate what I'm doing, this video really isn't for you. And if you're going to complain about what I'm doing, you can sign off. I'm okay with that. What the heck? There's a seed in there someplace. No, I mean, there's corn in there. It's good. Perfect. Very pleased. So somebody said, "Oh, that's just ugly farming. That's no big deal." Everybody that does no-till, gets accused of doing it wrong, and then nobody says anything when they're out there harvesting their crop. Now, you have to do it right, obviously. And how do you do it right? Well, it takes practice. So, there. Boom, boom, boom. This is sprayed. The residual's on. The Roundup is on. I'm happy with the way it looks. And there's a lot of different things going on here. Like my beautiful wife. Isn't she beautiful? How about Mr. William, chicken nugget boy? Chicken nuggets?
Yes,
Nick and Chuggets.
chicken nuggets.
Oh, he's not liking the Nick and Chugget thing anymore. Why is there a blinking thing? Okay, all right. On to the next farm. I figured I'd come down here and show you this wheat. Get some lamb's quarter along the edge. Got the brush hog hooked up, so probably gonna have the brush hog down here working. So this is the wheat. A little bit of rye in it. And I believe triticale. I'm sure that's triticale. Anyway, I don't know why that would have even been in here. You never see that in the sample. Look at these heads. This is right along the edge here. So it actually has greened back up, if that's even possible. We had the rain, and it's filling still, these heads. It is. But what I need to do is this little crook here, before I can spray it, that little bend is supposed to turn brown. And when that turns brown, like maybe this sample here has. And you can see, I hate bearded wheat. Did you know that? I hate bearded anything. I'm trying to get this guy out of there. There it is. So those are at the very tippy top of the head. Now if I spray that too soon, what'll happen is glyphosate will actually go into the grain. We don't want that. And it will shrivel the seed or the grain up to nothing. So I may be sending back my soybean seed. And that's just a fact. I may be sending that back because if I can't get this plant, well, I don't know. I'll probably get it done before I can plant soybeans right up to July 5th. That's it. That's my cutoff. I've planted soybeans to July 5th here for years, and you know, they still produce 35, 40 bushel, which is fine by me. Take weed off, put soybeans in, take the beans off, and then whatever. You get what you got, and that's fine. And I'm okay with that. Perfectly okay with that. Because the seed's sitting there in them boxes. So now let's go see. I want to make you all sick with this camera. Let's go see some Penergetic. What are we doing, Will?
Good.
What are we doing?
Good.
No, not how. What? What are we doing?
Good.
Did you know your boy's a pain in the butt? So what are we doing, Mom?
Checking on squirrel.
Okay, so there's a thing up there called a transformer. And down here, my parents don't have any electricity. So there's a fuse at the other end of the road, way up there, and it's dangling down. But right here, right there, is the culprit. That fuzzy-tailed belly, he got fried. Hey, that thing, holy cow.
William, get your butt in here.
Goodbye.
Ooh,
Goodbye.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Goodbye.
Stop it, stop.
Goodbye. What happened? Where'd you go?
I hear you.
Yeah, we're gonna go into the trees. What is it? Oh no!
Gotta keep it over here a little bit. Stop. You're good. You want it much closer? Oh, damn it. I hate that. Come on. Go. Stop. That's it. You're good. Hold on. Stop.
Okay, so here's the combine. Here's the baler. This is the burnt baler, and it will have. We're going to tear it apart. I'm actually going to pull that panel off of there completely and set it to the side because it'd just be a whole lot easier to get in there. But we're talking combine right now. So the combine, see all this crap? That was baby wipes that actual rats, not mice, rats. I never had rats before on this farm. We did years ago, but they were gone. These were in the combine inside, but the rats didn't eat that. They didn't bother with that. That'll tell you something about those crackers. They ate my gloves, and they ate the baby wipes, and they chewed off 3 wires. I'm not sure whether the video shows it or not, but I'll give you a quick recap of it. The solenoid, the sucking solenoid on the what do you call it? The injector pump, which keeps this combine running, was not working. So, and it smelled wonderful in here when I got in here. And the crazy thing was that there were dryer sheets, but rats aren't affected by dryer sheets. Mice don't like them. So the only way I could get this combine in here was to take a zip tie or a wire tie and actuate that solenoid to make it work. Came in here, I pulled the solenoid off of the injector pump, took it down to the Ford L8000, which has the same engine in it, plugged it in, realized that the solenoid is okay, it works. It was a wiring harness. So this whole entire console came off. I didn't show it because it was nothing but cussing and swearing and all sorts of stuff. So if you look in here, it ain't nothing but wires. All of it's wires. Wires, wires, wires. And the rats had literally severed. They severed 3 wires. Ate them. But I found them. Combine starts up. Everything seems to work. The brakes, the batteries. I have to figure out this. There's a button in there someplace, and I have to figure that out so that it shuts off the separator, because it says, hey, this isn't working. And when I do engage it, like this, ready? Ow. All right. Speed it up. That's normal. So we're good there. I should be able to speed up the rotor speed. Yeah, it does. When I do wheat, I have to run this rotor at full speed because that's what it takes. Anyway, I can shut it off now. My air conditioner works. Everything works. I have some straw chopper issues that I have to deal with. No big deal. I did spray. If you want to get rid of the smell of mice and rats, use this Ozium air sanitizer. You put that in there like so, just a little, and it fixes it. So I got that. Me and Teresa did that. We pulled the seat out. We vacuumed out a lot of rat crap, and now I got to sweep it out again because it's just dirty. Just because. All right, so we're going to talk about this combine a little bit more as I go, because this combine, they are discontinuing parts on this combine at a phenomenal rate. These are the small grain screens that go in there. I put them in. They're real simple, but I put those in there. But this combine, there's a lot of parts that have been discontinued on this combine, and New Holland has no intentions of ever making them again. You know, sometimes if they get enough different companies, if they get enough orders for something, they'll make them, but this is not one of them. So this combine it's obsolete. It is. It's old. Everybody can complain about it. It's a 1991 model. It's not a 94 model. I thought it was a 94, but it's not. It's a 91 model. It is. I thought it was one of the last ones, but it's not. It's a 94 model. It's just, it's a functioning combine. Everything works on it. It's just a matter of when something major breaks that I have to go to a boneyard and get parts. It takes time to do that. I'm going to run it this year, obviously, in the wheat. We're going to take the wheat out with it, but I'm starting to get really nervous about all the corn that I have. I've got 1,100 acres of corn in the ground. I'm going to have 300 acres of soybeans. I've got 360 acres of wheat. I've got all that to do. I have all of that to do. And with 2,000 acres for this old combine to be the reliable machine that it used to be, it isn't. With no parts availability, it's kind of scaring the shit out of me. So I've made a phone call to Messick's. They have three of them out there, New Holland combines, and I've made a phone call to the manager of Messick's, and I'm going to ask him a very simple question. A very simple question, and that simple question is going to be, on these machines, is there any discontinued parts on the older ones, you know, the $80,000 model ones, or, you know, is the answer to that yes? And if it is, then I won't even bother to purchase them, because obsolete is obsolete. And when do they start to make these combines obsolete? You know, is it sensors and shit like that you can always deal with, you know. You can get them from different companies or whatever. But when it's actual iron that they're discontinuing, I just don't want anything to do with it. So they've got a really decent combine for $140,000 out there with the heads. It's a 2011 model, which is 12 years old. I would buy that. But if they start to discontinue parts in, say, 5 years, then it's not worth it to me. And that is really going to be the driving force whether I switch combine manufacturers and go with a John Deere. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of guys that are Gleaner guys. I'm not buying a Gleaner. There's no Gleaner AGCO companies around local that I can, there's nothing local. Anyway, the closest thing that I have is John Deere. So John Deere would be the combine that I buy. I've talked to several people. One is Eastern Shore Farmer. He's got a 680, and he's saying that there's several 680s down on the shore for, you know, $80,000 to $120,000, you know, and you just got to buy the heads and everything else. He says, and because everybody's going to Draper heads, you can buy a Draper head pretty cheap, or you can buy a regular 30-foot grain platform really cheap, you know, $6,000, $8,000, $10,000. That's in good shape. He said, and the corn head, you know, you can, if you want a 6 or an 8 or a 10, 12, or a 6, 8 or 12 row corn head, which I would buy a 6 row. I don't need a 12. I could get a 12 row, but there's no way I'm going to be able to haul the grain away from that thing. You know, I could do an 8 easy enough, but getting it down the road is the hard part. But you can buy 15-year-old corn heads that are great shape, and all the parts are still available for them, whereas New Holland is not supporting those either. So I'm really thinking that I'm going to end up with a John Deere, but we're going to run this one we're going to run it through the wheat anyway, and then we'll make our decision whether we're going to be purchasing a new combine, whether it'll be a New Holland or whether it'll be a John Deere, because parts availability is going to be the driving force in that decision, not brand. You know, if New Holland, if I can get a time frame with the New Holland and work a deal that way, that it works out that I get 10 years. If I get 10 years with a 20-year-old combine, and I'm able to get the major parts for it because it was the same combine that they made for 4 series, you know, they just keep adding horsepower, then fine, great, excellent, I'll do that. But I don't know, you know, I don't know what the answer is going to be, and I thought they would call me back pretty quickly, but they didn't. But anyway, yeah, so that's it. Parts availability. Case and New Holland are the same company in the same sinking ship, and I'm not. That's just what it's going to be. So anyways, yeah, thanks for watching.